Good morning. It's time for us to talk about classifying triangles. Your I can statement is, I can name triangles based on angles and side lengths. Ooh, that should have an S there. For sure. Go ahead and write it in your notes that it has an S on the end of side lengths, because sometimes I spell things wrong. All right, we need to discuss what a polygon is. A polygon is a closed plane figure. So you see here that we have a triangle, boom, a rectangle, a pentagon, a hexagon, and an octagon. These are all based on the number of sides that they have, but they're all closed in. They all come to a point, which is called a vertex. We talked about vertex yesterday. A vertex is where two lines meet. I should say line segments. They meet at this vertex here. Each one of these is a vertex. So the polygons are based on the number of sides that they have, and they have to be a closed figure. This is not a polygon because it does not have sides. It is a circle. Circles are not considered polygons, even though they are considered shapes, not polygons. This also would not be a polygon because it is not closed in. There are not lines meeting together at vertexes to close it in. Okay, so here are our shapes. We have the triangle. It's called a triangle because it has 3 angles. Tri is another way to say 3. So the triangle is called a triangle because it has 3 sides, boom, 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 and 3 angles, 1, 2, 3, or vertexes. A quadrilateral, quad means 4 sides. It has 4 sides, boom, 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 and 4 angles. And the word quad means 4. Like if you're on a 4-wheeler, it could be called a quad. Then we go to, as you would guess it, a pentagon, which also the word penta means 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, let me write it. 4, and 1 way up top, 5. Is why a pentagon is called a pentagon, because penta means 5. Each one of them, notice that there is gon on the next ones, like a polygon. Quadrilateral, a lateral means like how the lines are formed, like there's parallel lines and perpendicular lines. And then triangle because there's 3 angles in a triangle. Hexagon, a hex means 6. You might also see up top on my letters, the letter H has a karate hexagon guy there. And octagon means 8, so there are 8 angles and 8 sides. So now we need to go ahead and talk about triangles how we can name them based on their angles. There's 3 types of triangles based on the angles that they make. We learned yesterday that angles are where two rays meet. So each one of these triangles has 3 angles in it. There are 3 types of angle-based triangles. This one has a right angle right here, and if we were to name this based on its angles, we would say this triangle is a right triangle because it has 1 right angle. A triangle can only have 1 right angle because if it had 2 right angles, it would look like that. And we know that is not a polygon because it is open. The next one that we could name, this one has angles that are smaller than 90 degrees, all smaller than 90 degrees. This is called an acute triangle because all of the angles in the triangle are smaller than 90 degrees. They're all less than 90 degrees. And as you can guess, this last one here has only 1 angle that is going to be obtuse. These other 2 angles are going to be acute because we can only have the 1 angle that's obtuse. So this triangle is, based on its angles, is an obtuse triangle. All right, the next way to classify triangles is going to be based on the length of their sides. So this first triangle that you see here, this one is called an isosceles triangle. Isosceles. And let's hope I can spell it correctly. Isosceles. Yep, you know, I looked it up. It's correct now. It's called an isosceles triangle because two of the sides of this triangle are going to be equal. So when you see these little dash marks, these hash marks here, this means that the sides that have matching hash marks are equal in length. So you see the hash mark here and you see the hash mark here. Hey, that kind of looks like an ugly face. But you see the hash mark there. That means that those sides are exactly the same. Notice there's no hash mark on the bottom. None of that. Which means that that side is not the same as any other side in the picture. Well, with this one, you see that the hash mark, there's 3 of them, and on a triangle, there's only 3 sides. This type of triangle is called an equilateral. And it says it right there in the name of it, equilateral. It's equal. All the sides are equal. That's why it's called an equilateral. We know that they're all equal because of the hash marks that are there. You have the dash, the dash, the dash on all 3 sides. This one is called an equilateral because all the sides are the same. This last one, notice there's no hash marks on it at all because every side that it has, all 3 of the sides are different. This is called a scalene triangle. Means that all the sides do not equal each other. They are all different. All right, let's look at these triangles and name them based on both angles and sides. In this first one, there's no hash marks, but we can kind of look, it looks like this side is equal to this side. And I noticed that all of the angles are acute. So we could say that this first triangle is an acute isosceles because the 2 of the sides are the same. So when we name triangles, we have to name them based on their angles and name them based on their sides. They get 2 names. This triangle is an acute isosceles triangle because 2 of the sides are the same and all the angles are less than 90 degrees. The next one, number 2, I notice that there is a big O angle in there, which tells me that based on angles, this triangle is an obtuse. But then I look at all the sides and they all look different, so I would call this an obtuse scalene. This triangle down here, this third triangle, I noticed that it has this little box in it, which tells me it has a right angle in it. I hope you said that. So automatically I know that this is going to be a right triangle based on its angles. But based on its lengths of the sides, it looks like they're all kind of different lengths. So I'm going to say that this one's probably a scalene as well. Again, I see 1, 2, 3 angles that are less than 90 degrees. So in this triangle, we're going to have another acute. And all the sides maybe this one and this one look similar, so I might say that this one is an acute isosceles. And this last one, all the angles are under 90. We have another acute triangle, cute little triangle. And then it looks like all the sides are the same, so we have an acute equilateral triangle. All right, you're going to head on over to Schoology. You're going to get your, download your assignments. This is going to be 8-4. And then I'll see you at the table. Oh, I forgot. You need a letter today. Today is your last letter. Today is letter S. Hopefully you know the word by now. If I haven't talked to you about the words, about your word written on your assignment, it's okay. I'll get to it. I just haven't yet. So be patient. All right. Happy mathing.